let me take that to Michael Ferreira then. Michael, you hearing what Abhijit is saying, that there has to be a clear-cut concern when it comes to commercial interest. Bollywood has a lot of commercial interests. Its commercial interests should not suffer. Indians who are working in Bollywood should not suffer if someone from Pakistan is also being given a lot of importance in Bollywood. But do you buy that? Because at the end of the day, look at what happens in sports. Hasn't sporting diplomacy always been an integral part of Indo-Pak relations?
Yes, it has been, but let me give you a bit of perspective. I like to think of myself as a balanced, mature individual, but I must say that when I saw in living color the rape of my city, when I saw iconic structures being devastated in the manner they were, when I saw senseless murder of innocent human beings, I felt a revulsion right to the depths of my soul. The sport and all that is fine. This calls for, honestly, the slogan of the Gateway of India procession was, enough is enough. We have had it, man. We've had it. We've stood by. We've taken it. We've suffered. We've turned the other cheek. It's time to stop. We've got to take a firm stand. It is regrettable. I have many friends across the border. I've been to Pakistan several times. It is unfortunate that we, our friends, will be the sufferers of an impotent government, of a government that cannot hold the ISI and the army in check. This is the bottom line. We've got to get to the bottom of it.
Right.
I refuse to live like this for the rest of my life. I refuse to let my kids and my grandchildren grow up in this atmosphere.
But Michael, isn't that a question which should be addressed to the Pakistani government? You're making a very, very valid point. Because at the end of the day, the truth is that there are some elements within Pakistan which are outside the control of the civilian administration there. Agreed, maybe Pakistan is an immature democracy. But you're talking about your friends. Didn't your friends also grieve with you with what was happening in Mumbai?
Yes, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. But listen, this is almost a warlike situation in the sense that we have reached a fever pitch of emotion. You cannot just brush aside human emotion anymore. Okay. We've got to do something. The world has got to see us do something. The world has got to do something. They've got to step in and neutralize these terrible people.
All right.
Particularly the ISI
just the right
and
tone for you, perhaps. Just the right note for you to come into this debate here. Michael Ferreira says that human expression, the voice of the people, must be heard. It must be addressed. At the end of the day, will snapping of cultural ties, will it aggravate the situation or will it actually lead to a solution? Do you think that it can actually add to the international diplomatic pressure which is anyways being put on Pakistan?
No. I think this is the wrong point to talk about snapping off ties. First of all, it isn't as if the ties are all that strong.
So you don't agree with what Abhijit and Michael Ferreira are saying?
Let me continue. I do agree with the human anger and the passionate sentiment. I see Bombay as my city too. But also we've suffered in Delhi. The country has suffered for more than 15 years. I agree, enough is enough. What I do believe is that this is one time in which we are seeing both stately action on the part of our government and speedy response on the part of the Pakistani government.
Right.
These people that have been arrested, in particular Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi, is an extraordinarily important source of information for us and for prosecution too. We need to go as quickly as we can to go and interrogate him.
But the point is that the Pakistani administration has made it very clear that there is no way they will hand over any of these suspects to India. The question we're looking at is, why shouldn't India also have the right to interrogate these people? Because we are the ones who lost our lives.
Well, the Pakistani government has said twice now for the past 2 days that they will accept India coming and interrogating the suspects in Pakistan. It is also the case that they will want their own police.
So you're satisfied with that? You say a joint probe, as long as a neutral, a balanced joint probe is allowed, you're fine with that?
I say this is the first step and we should take it up immediately. Okay. We should go tomorrow because the more time we give, the more time they have to prepare a defense which will not allow us to penetrate.
All right, we'll take a quick break at this stage. When we return, we'll look at this. The other paradox of the situation, really. Where will all this end then? Today we're talking about snapping of cultural ties. Will it then translate into snapping of trade ties, snapping of sporting ties? You can't choose your neighbors. How are we going to engage our neighbors? That's the question we'll look at on the other side of the break.